everybody, this is going to be a long video. I'm going to be coloring in Fancy Anya, and this is what the stamp looks like. And I'm using Gina K Design Pure Luxury cardstock in the white, and I'm not doing any editing or anything on this video. I'm just going to do it in real time, so it's probably going to be right around 20 some odd minutes. So if you feel like sitting through a long video with me coloring, feel free to watch. I always start off with the hair because that's where I usually mess up the most. I'm using E33 Sand, E35 Chamois, and E37 Sepia for the hair. For the skin, I'm using E21 Baby Skin Pink, E11 Barely Beige, and E00 Skin White. And I'm also going to be using some pinks, R20 for the blush. And for the dress and the barrettes and the shoes, I'm using R22 Light Prawn, R21 Sardonyx, I think it's called, and then the R20 blush. And I also have my colorless blender on hand just in case I need it. And I'm also going to be using an At You Spica pink. It's called Blossom. And when you store your spicas, store them face down so that the tip is on the bottom, or else you'll have a problem with your spicas not coming out correctly. Okay, so let's get started. And of course I had a piece of fuzz on my stamp that I can see here, and I hate when that happens. I don't know where it is, so I can get it off of there. Anyway, I'm going to start off with the hair, and I'm going to use E37 Sepia. And I work in small sections at a time when I color. That way it's easier to blend the color around. I'm going to start with the crown of her head, doing a feather stroke. I'm sorry, keep turning the paper. I gotta turn the paper to color. And then I'm gonna go in with Chamois, which is the medium color. And I'm just gonna go to the edges of that sepia and just drag it down. And what I'm doing is pulling the color out. And I'm using the side of my brush tip. Okay, and then I'm going to go with my lightest color, which is E33 Sand. And again, I'm just going to the edge of the color. I'm not Copic certified by any means. If you would like to watch someone that's wonderful with the Copics that is Copic certified, you can go to My Butterfly Kisses 12 or Bona at Live Love Scrap. They're both Copic certified. And the light part of the hair is going to be right here. Okay, I'm going to go back with my darkest color. And I'm just going to fill this in with the darkest color here. And I'm just going to work on one side of the hair at a time. Going with my medium color. Pull that color up. And then go with my lightest color, which is Sand. And I went into her face, so I'll have to use my colorless blender. Well, that's fresh on there. I'm going to go in there now with the colorless blender and push this color use my chisel tip and just push that color back. Just use like 3 strokes and let it dry in between, or else you'll have bleeding into your other color and you'll get white splotches. And you don't want that. Okay. So now I'm going to go on the other side. And I keep opening the wrong end of my markers tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me. And with my medium color, pull the color up. And then go in with my sand. And I keep doing that with my markers. I'm going to drive myself crazy. And then when the Copics dry, they dry a lighter color. So I'm going to go back in with my dark again. Go in with my medium, which is chamois, and just pull the edges of that color down. And then go in with the lightest color, which is sand. Okay, so the lightest part of her hair is right here. So now I'm going to do the tips on the bottom. And again, I'm working in small sections. And I keep opening the wrong end of my Copic. Just bring that color up. And what I'm going to do for the back part of her hair is I'm just going to color it in the chamois. Since that part of the hair doesn't collect much light. And then I'm going to take, I keep doing that, take my sand. There's no excuse for me opening the wrong end of my marker because the brush tip has the gray stripe. Okay, let's work on the other side of her hair. Now I'm going in with chamois. And just pulling the tips of that darker color up. And again, with the back part of her hair, I'm just going to color it in the chamois color. Then I'm going to go in with my sand. I'm just going to go around her face a little so I don't color into her face. And then bring the color up. Okay. Here's her hair. As you can see, the light colors right here. And I think I'm going to go in with the tips right here. I'm going to go in with my chamois because it didn't blend very well. And do that on both sides. And it makes it look much better. Actually, I'm going to go in with my chamois a little here too. Just bring the hair out. Okay. Just take this. I keep opening the wrong end of my marker. Alright. It's much better with the hair. I don't know how well you can see it. Okay, now her skin. I'm going to be using E11, which is the darkest. I'm going to go around her face. And I'm doing it darker where the hairline is. And that little piece of hair that comes down, because there'll be a shadow there. I'm going to go in with E21. And I'm just going to bring that color down. And then I'm going to bring this around here. And I'm also going to color her ears this color. And then I'm going to take my E00. Keep opening the wrong end. It's driving me nuts. And then I'm just using a feather stroke going down, grabbing the edges of that E21. And I'm going to go up. On the color. And I'm going to go back in with my E11. Again with my E21. And then the E00. Remember, just go into the edge of the darker color, or else the lighter color will make the darker color. It's almost like the colorless blender. Okay, that's her face. And then I'm going to take the E11 and do a little line. A piece of fuzz in there. A little line there on the bottom of her neck. And up here, because there'll be a little shadow from her little head. And then I'm going to go in with the E21. Bring it down a little bit. And then go in with my E00. And I'm going to give her some blush. And I'm using R20. And I like going right under the edge where the eyes are. So we're doing this at this angle. And I'm going to blend that with my E00. Using the side of the brush tip. So here is her hair and her face so far. And I'm going to use my Spica in the Blossom, and I'm going to give her some eyeshadow. And just from my Spica sitting sideways for a little while, it doesn't want to work right. So always store your Spica pens tip side down. Okay, and her little barrettes I want to do in light prawn is R22. And I'm going to do her little shoes in R22. And I'm going to outline, I'm going to do her little waist, R22. And I'm just going to outline little lines in her dress and where the shadows will be. The darker part of her dress will be back here. And right up here by her shoulders. Now I'm going to go in with R21. And blend the dark parts down. Just shadow around the outside of the lines that I made. You know, everybody has their different styles, whether they're Copic certified or not, of coloring. And I just wanted to share the way that I do it with you. Oop. Just forgot that. And when I color, I like to always go darkest to lightest. And my R20. Finish off her little dress. And I'm just going on the edges of that darker color and pulling it out. And then I'm going to go back in with my Spica. Let me just blend this a little better right over here. And I'm going to color her little barrettes. And the reason I put the light prawn down first is because the Spica is a little bit translucent. And do her little waist, the Spica. And I just need to do a little more blending on her arm. I need my E00. And her little legs. Oop, and I want to do the Spica on her little shoes too. I have glittery shoes, and since it's so tiny, I'm just going to dot it on. And here is fancy little Anya. I think she's so cute. You can see how I have the lighter color here because the light source is face on, and her little face is lighter around the nose, and all the shading in her little dress. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it wasn't too boring for you. Now you know my style of Copic coloring. And if you're new to Copic coloring and you have any questions, you can always ask me. or you can ask a Copic certified person, which is Arlene and Bona that I know of. And Arlene is at My Butterfly Kisses 12, and Bona is at Live Love Scrap on YouTube. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.